I think I might be going in circles. Let's see here. Someone said, do I know what Kintama means? No, what does Kintama mean? Man, this is crazy, you know? I started this stream in my mom's basement. And now, look how far we have come. Kintama means balls. Okay, that's good to know. I feel like I feel like I'll encounter a situation where that'll be useful. Thank you for teaching me that. Someone said, I'll be in your area in 15 minutes, but I can't catch your live show. Can I get a picture? Are you serious? Sensei Martin, are you serious right now? Are you about to stream snipe me? How serious are you, Sensei Martin? I'll wait for you if you're coming. Who in the chat is actually in Tokyo right now? There's got to be at least one. Yeah, I'll meet up with Sensei Martin. How do you know where I am, though? What if I'm on the move? How far away are you, Sensei Martin? I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you, but you gotta do an interview with me on the stream. Will you help me translate when groups of teenage girls are laughing at me? Oh, he's very familiar with the area? Okay, maybe I'll walk around a little bit with Sensei Martin. How far away are you, Sensei Martin? Folks, we're gonna be meeting up with Sensei Martin. I am... Fuck, where the fuck am I? I'm actually pretty close. I'm still pretty close to that temple. Oh, Sensei Martian. I'm gonna stick with Sensei Martin because I think Martin is a cool name. Give him therapy? Yeah, I'll meet up with him. You're bold for meeting up with strangers. I could never. I'd feel in danger, but I guess you live, so we will beat his ass if he... oh, I'm live. No, you're not gonna meet up. You're not gonna beat up Sensei Martin. I'm down to meet up with Sensei Martin, though. People are saying, well, listen, I'm not, I don't know, I'm pretty not afraid of bad things. I think, like, the majority of people are good and not bad. Also, from what I've seen, from what I have both seen on the internet, people saying, and from just walking around, Tokyo is pretty fucking safe, from my experience walking around and from what I've seen on the internet. I mean, listen, I live in LA, and I will say, I live in LA, and this year I went to Guatemala, Mexico City, and fucking Tokyo, and I felt actually probably a lot safer in those places than I do in certain areas of Los Angeles. I don't have a skirt to look under. You don't know that. You don't know what I got going on. Thank you for the subscription, Princess924. I have a little backup recording. Oh no, it's raining a little bit. Ask a girl if there's a chikan problem in Tokyo. What does that mean? What is chikan? Alright, I'm gonna find somewhere to take shelter under. Let's go! Oh no, it's raining. I gotta get out from the rain. I will take shelter under the temple. The two dogs. Huh. Alright, I am safe from the rain. Alright, Sensei Martin, what are we doing? I'm waiting here. I'm going to meet Sensei Martian. I'm going to see what's up with him. What is Shikan? Can someone tell me what Shikan means? Someone said, I wonder if they think he's a kaiju? What's a kaiju? Oh, Sensei Martian is close. He's 3 stops away. Okay, we're gonna meet up with Sensei Martian. We're gonna take a little walk, and then I think that might be the end of the stream. But not the end of my Japanese streams. I'm still gonna do a stream in Kyoto. I'm gonna do a stream in Osaka. I'm probably gonna do a nighttime stream in Osaka. Let's see. We're gonna do a stream in Osaka. We're gonna stream in Kyoto, and I'm probably gonna do one more stream in. There is a huge group of children, school children, looking at me. I've piqued their interest. Are you guys ready for the Sensei Martian interview? People ask me what other countries am I going to. Here's the deal, folks. For as long as people are willing to be a gecko, you bet your ass I'm doing it. So I'll do it until I have no countries left to go to. But next I'm feeling like, I have tour dates in some foreign countries in like Australia and Europe and stuff, so I'm probably going to do that. And then after that, in places that I don't have tour dates, I kind of want to go to India. I kind of want to go to Southeast Asia. I kind of want to go to China. Although I don't really know what's going on in China. Maybe Korea. Who knows? We're going to Gecko across the universe, baby. Where's my man, Sensei Martian? He's coming. You should have Andrew Tate open for you in Kazakhstan. I don't know if he lives there. I don't know where he lives. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa is kind of formal, right? See, I want to say konnichiwa to people, but I feel like it's too formal. I don't know if there's a less, or maybe he said one more stop. The Sensei Martian interview is really happening. The Sensei Martian interview is really happening. Get out of here. You can say domo instead of konnichiwa? Okay. Domo. Like that. Domo. One more stop, Sensei Martian. Folks, it looks like the Sensei Martian interview is really happening. Everyone get ready. We're gonna... Alright, what do we think Sensei Martian looks like? What do we think he's gonna be wearing? Can we get much higher? I don't think we can, dude. I think this is the highest possible gekking that is accomplishable in this universe. What is happening? A chatter claims to be in Tokyo right now, and he claims to be coming to where I am, and is going to meet me and walk around. I don't think he's trolling me, but if he is, that's okay. It won't really affect me in any way, shape, or form. Please go to Harajuku. I was just in Harajuku the other day. I was in Harajuku the other day, and it was really cool. I want to do a stream in Shinjuku because I didn't get the chance to go to Shinjuku, and I want to stream there because I think it'd be fun. Oh, he's walking up now. All right, we're about to find out if this man is trolling. Konnichiwa. All right, Sensei Martin. Oh, konnichiwa. Are you guys hyped for the Sensei Martin interview? Who is hyped for the Sensei Martin interview? Konnichiwa. It's just a group of youth walking around enjoying young life. All right, Sensei Martin. We're waiting for you, Sensei Martin. I'm taking a crouch for you, Sensei Martin. Let's see. Let's see if he's actually here. I'm okay with getting trolled. It builds character. It builds character to get trolled. Alright. Oh, he's in Tokyo, Arizona. No, I haven't lost my trust yet. Oh, he said he's not trolling. He's almost there. What are you wearing, Sensei Martin? Oh, it's a little panda. Oh. Let's see. We're rooting for you, Sensei Martin. Okay, he's wearing a gray jacket and jeans. Be on the lookout for a guy who looks like his name is Sensei Martin and is wearing a gray jacket and jeans. I believe in him. I don't think Sensei Martian would do such a thing. I think Sensei Martian's a good guy. I don't think he would troll us. He's in Little Tokyo, but he's in Buenos Aires. I believe in Sensei Martin. Is it a bit? It might be. Well, I mean, look. Okay, listen. Here's the thing. Everyone's always so skeptical. See, everyone's always so skeptical, right? Everyone's like, oh, you're being trolled. Oh no, oh you're being oh it's a fake, everything's a fake, You're like little conspiracy theorists, you know. But here's the thing, all right. Let's say Sensei Martian is fake. All right, what do I lose? What do I lose? I stood around and talked to my chat while I was a Gecko. Konnichiwa. How's it going, man? Oh, look at all the kids. Look at all the school children. What do I lose if he trolled me? What do I lose? I lose nothing. What do I lose if I think it is a troll and it's not a troll? I lose a potential adventure. How's it going, man? Sensei Martin is the collective of kids. Where's she at?
Hey, man.
Are you Sensei Martin?
I'm Sensei Martin.
Are you? Holy shit! You're Sensei fucking Martin? How's it going, man? He's fucking real! Sensei Martian's fucking real! Let's go! They thought you were fake,
Yeah,
dude.
I understand.
They thought you were fake. What's going on, man?
Not a lot, man. So I was in Shibuya and I was like, shit, he's...
You came here all the way from Shibuya?
Yeah, 35
Oh my
minute train.
god!
Yeah.
Just for this?
Just for this.
Oh my god, what's up, man?
Not a lot, man. How are you?
Dude, the people thought you were fake.
Yeah.
And you're real.
I'm real.
See,
yeah.
this is a testament, right? This is a testament to people who you know, they're not believers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Can do you speak Japanese?
A little bit, yeah.
Japanese.
Do you guys speak English? Skoshi? Skoshi. How what can you what is that?
So you're a YouTuber?
Oh, hi.
What's your name?
Oh, that's the name? Oh, Lyle. Hajimashite. What? That was really funny. Hell yeah, man. Let's walk around.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What's going on with you? All right, so tell me about you. What are you doing here?
Yeah, so
Do you live here?
I live here, yeah.
Oh, shit.
So I've been here for about 7 years. and 7 years. Yeah, about 7 years ago, I bought a one-way ticket.
Really?
Just said fuck it, and yeah, been here since. No job, no money, no visa. Just wanted to get out of. I'm from Oklahoma, for all you guys back in the States. Yeah, so my first job, because I didn't have any, no language, no friends, nothing. I pretty much just shotgunned out applications to every. They call them Eikaiwa schools. Eikaiwa's like English conversation.
Right.
And shotgunned it out. Said, hey, here's my work experience. Please give me a job. Please give me a visa. And a lot of places said, nope, can't do that. And that, which is fine. Like, you're not really supposed to look for work while on a visa or like on a tourist visa.
Right.
Eventually, the company said, sure, no problem. So I started working there for a year. Had a year contract. After that, realized I didn't want to teach kids anymore. Just the education, for anyone in the chat who knows, like, English education here is kind of weird and feels very robotic.
What makes you say that?
Because everything they learn is just, here's a book, memorize this, memorize this, memorize this. And I would almost say it's akin to most people in the States take Spanish, but they can't speak Spanish.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
it's kind of that same thing. Like, they learn enough English to pass a test, and then after that, it's just like, kind of, they forget about it.
Right. It's funny because it's exactly what you said, right? Like, everyone has to take a little bit of Spanish. Let me go this way. Everybody in U.S. schools have to take a little bit of Spanish,
Yeah.
but we don't actually learn how to speak Spanish.
Yeah. So after that, I started using my, back in the States, I worked live production, so doing, how do I say, like backstage work with big concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma, there's a lot of casinos, and so my company that I worked for, we did all of the shows at a lot of the smaller casinos and mid-sized casinos. For a lot of years I did that, and then used that to start teaching adults, like business English. So I've been doing that, and then now, since I've been here longer, I sometimes take like freelance translation projects or freelance, I don't know, English marketing, like writing English. Because, people will use Google Translate
Yeah.
from Japanese to English, but then it's like, oh, a robot wrote this, or like AI wrote this.
Right.
So it needs some polishing.
How accurate is Google Translate? Because that's like all I've been using. And Google Translate, they have this amazing feature where like you can take a picture of a sign and it'll just translate it for you.
So it largely, the problem with Japanese is very context-based.
Yeah.
So like in English we say, oh, Lyle did this, Jason did this, but they'll probably just say, in the beginning they'll use the subject, and then after that it's just assumed. So it's contextual, like what you are talking about, I guess, based on the words you're using. So sometimes like signs, like something like this, like this is like no crossing. Obviously it's very simple, but other things, this is the name of the company, Anzen Daiichi, it's a construction company. So like things like this, those are pretty easy, but once it gets into like paragraph mode, it's very complicated to really understand what they're talking about when you use Google Translate.
Right, because there's no context if you just put an individual word in there.
Yeah.
So tell me, I want to hear more about this story of you being like, screw it, and just leaving from Oklahoma.
I was 22, and I had worked a lot of years, like, as a sole proprietor, like, doing the live show, doing all that sort of stuff, backstage work. And I was at a point where, a lot of people, if they're from the Midwest, they know it's very hard to get out of the Midwest. Families there, and so I knew if I didn't take like a drastic action, I was going to be stuck there, kind of, like, it's impossible to escape a black hole, so you got to get, like that Interstellar movie, you got to go fast enough to escape it. So I had to make a drastic change, because my whole life I was always studying or working, always kind of focused on the future, but then it's like, like same with Japanese. I came here with no Japanese.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I had said, oh, I have to study more, then I would have never come here. If I had to have more money saved, I would have never come here. So it's just one of those things where like I was confident in myself that I could survive.
Yeah.
And I did it. So yeah, I mean the first year or two was pretty tough.
What were the toughest parts of that?
Oh man, like it's so different. I guess for me too, because Oklahoma is very countryside.
Yeah.
And you know, whenever you come to a big city like this, I guess it's kind of like in New York. The stereotype is people are cold or
Right.
a little bit rude or whatever. But
Right. Do you get
it's
that?
because here they're not rude, but they're just so laser focused on I gotta go to the office,
Right.
gotta go home, gotta pick up my kid.
Right.
Like, so that kind of small talk chit chat is not as like Midwest. Everyone waves. Everyone's hey, how's your day? You talk to the cashier.
Right.
So that was kind of one thing. Second thing.
I mean, and that energy combined with you not speaking very much Japanese is like.
And then another thing too, like whenever you come here, and then often a lot of times
Oh, sorry, can you give me 1 second? I just want to make sure. I always like to double check and make sure, because sometimes people are like, oh, my fucking audio doesn't work, or.
Oh yeah.
Can everyone hear and see everything? By the way, so sick that you actually exist. This is awesome. I want to hear more about all of this. Sounds good. Can hear and see everything. Beautiful. Amazing. Okay, this backup's great. Great. Okay. Anyway, tell me what you were saying.
So it's just one of those things where. What was I saying?
You were crap. Okay. You were talking about
Okay, so being lonely, yeah.
Yeah, being lonely in the
another
avion.
thing too is because when you don't speak Japanese, you kind of tend to, find other people who don't speak Japanese.
Right.
Which is fine, but then a lot of times, especially, when you're 22, 23, 24, like, drinking in Japan is so cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know if you, like, they have all-you-can-drink plans for, like, anywhere from 1,500 yen to 2,000 yen. So
I found that everything is a little bit cheaper here.
Yes, and especially that the yen is so weak. Like right now, it used to be like a couple weeks ago it was 150 yen to one. Now it's 136, I think.
Oh, really? It's changing that much.
We were in dire straits.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what happens is you start, you're around other 22 to 24-year-olds who are lonely, so you just drink all the time.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of this cycle of like, oh crap, like next thing you know, it's been 2 years and you're like, what am I doing? Where do I want to be? And I think that's part of being in your mid-20s too.
Definitely.
And so that's when I was kind of like, well, I got to kind of study Japanese. And even now I'm not fluent. Like I can read contracts and I can understand a lot, watch TV shows, watch movies. But during COVID, my speaking went down because everybody in my job is all remote. So it's just like, you talk with the same 2 or 3 people, and then all of the chit-chats, he goes, I can chit-chat and I can do whatever, but I'm not giving any TED Talks in Japanese.
So
it's like...
So when you were, like, at the bars, when you had just gotten here, I know you're talking about, like, oh, you're drinking and you're a little lonely and everything, but, like, it sounded like there was something, it was fun, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. So it's one of these things where back home I didn't really drink because everybody in Oklahoma has a DUI. Not everybody, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, if I drink and drive, then I'm kind of screwed. So I never really kind of let my hair down. But over here, there's a nice bridge over here.
Ooh, yeah. Is that
That's Skytree.
Yeah, that looks incredible.
So it's one of those things where, if you never let your hair down, and now you're in this place where it's cheap to do it, and...
Oh, is it?
Frog? Yamori.
Yamori.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you doing today? O genki desu ka? What did he ask?
He asked if you like frogs.
Oh, I'm not a frog. I'm a gecko.
Yamori.
はじめまして。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
When I was watching, so many people said frog.
Oh my god, it's so funny. I like couldn't. Yeah, I'm glad you're here because people were stopping and trying to talk to me, but I had no idea how to talk to them.
But yeah, so it's fun because it was new.
Right.
But then at a certain time, you just go like, you know, what is the purpose of me being here?
Right.
And I think a lot of people run into this, like, a lot of people get in the trap of teaching English and they just never look for opportunities, or they look for opportunities, but a lot of Japanese businesses or even overseas businesses in Japan are quite conservative in hiring practices, or it's very like upward mobility is really tough.
Do you get the sense that like they don't want to hire foreigners?
I think it's more of the fact that they want people who they can understand.
Right.
And unless your Japanese is pretty top notch,
Yeah.
a lot of places just don't want to take that risk.
Right,
Because it's
right.
just, you know, hiring a Japanese person who might be a little bit less competent, but is, you know, understands the language, or hiring a non-Japanese person who is competent but
Right.
can't understand whatever. So this is Sumida River.
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is Sumida River.
They have a really big lantern festival here a couple times a year. Pretty cool. Sometimes they have dinner boats too.
So I want to hit like the nitty gritty. Okay. You go to Japan. You have no plan.
Yes.
You have no money. You have no visa. You have
Yeah.
no job. You have no nothing.
Yeah.
You land.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Okay, so I had my first night was planned. Because I knew I needed a place to stay for the first night.
Yeah.
So first night I stayed in a place called Asakusa, which is just down the river. I stayed in a hostel.
Yeah.
And it was my first time ever staying in a hostel. So I slept, they had lockers for your stuff, but I slept on top of my lug because I had a carry-on, a checked bag, and a backpack.
Yeah.
So I slept on my checked bag. Checked bag was my pillow, and I like hugged. Not that I'm like scared of getting rough houses,
Sumimasen.
but it was just so different because like I didn't know. I just didn't know. Hadn't been around that. I'd always stayed in the hotel rooms.
Right.
So I stay there, use the Wi-Fi there for the day, and I talked to a guest house. Because when I came here, I had about $2,000 maybe cash. So not like, I wasn't completely broke, but $2,000 cash. Talk to a guest house, say, hey, I have cash, I have a passport, I don't have a visa, what are the rules? And they said, hey, we don't care. You just have to pay first month's rent and a deposit.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even think about, again, I just didn't have any money, so I
Yeah.
paid for that. My $2,000 goes to about $1,000 first day, and then I'm like, shit. I bought a one-way ticket. I don't even have enough money to go back without asking my mom, which didn't want to do. Like, it's embarrassing, you know?
Of course.
Like, you told your friends, like, oh, I'm moving to Japan,
Yeah.
gonna make it, and then, you know, you come back a month or two later, can't.
Right.
So, got in the share house, free Wi-Fi, it's in Shibuya, Wi-Fi was included, I think it was like Rokuman, so 60,000 yen, so about $500 a month. The room, so I'm about 6'2", 188 centimeters, so I could touch the wall. My private room, I felt like Harry Potter's closet situation.
yeah.
And then shared bath, shared toilets, all that stuff. So I lived there for 3 or 4 months, and I hated it. All of my neighbors, some of the share houses are cool, but all of my neighbors were like really loud all the time. Walls paper thin. So I saved up money to move to an apartment. The problem is, most landlords don't want non-Japanese because a couple of reasons. One, language barrier, big issue. Two, most of the time, if you're teaching kids, your salary is relatively low.
Right.
So
they're worried you're not going to be able to pay rent on a teacher's salary.
And then three, people get homesick.
Yeah.
So if you get homesick and you just jet, well, the renter laws in Japan are quite strong in favor of the renters, not so much for the landlords.
Yeah.
Once the contract's signed. Before the contract's signed, it's kind of landlord favored, but after the contract's signed, it's tenant favored.
Yeah.
So it took months to find that place, and even that place was not, nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
Lived there for a couple years, and then just kind of gradually, bit by bit, leveled up. That's about it.
So you eventually were able to find a job?
So So when I was in the share house,
Yeah.
emailed all these places, and finally, Kodomo Eikaiwa, like a kids English company, said, "Hey, we like your resume. We like your university."
Now the English teaching places, I assume that they actually do want to hire foreigners.
Yes, those are exclusively. But again, that's where the upward mobility thing comes.
Yeah.
You're going to be stuck at like 2 to 3K a month for your life.
Are
unless
those-
you?
Are those jobs competitive? Like, are there a lot of people who move to foreign countries, like, you know, move like to Japan and want to teach
So
English?
it's some of the higher up jobs are competitive, but a lot of the entry level stuff, turnover is so high that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, most people, they come here for a year or two. They say that's cool, Japan's cool.
Right.
But then it hits them like that honeymoon phase kind of wears off.
Right, and then it just becomes,
And then-
this is where I live.
Yes.
Right.
And then also it's like, even things like getting a driver's license. Like, oh, do I want to go through the headache of getting a driver's license in Japanese?
Yeah.
Or like you can go to a driving school, but it's really expensive. So I took the test. I took what do they call it?
Aptitude tests?
No, for the driving test, it was a. Gosh dang it! They changed. I can't think of the word, but essentially you bring them your American license and a translation of it, and then you take a hardcore driving test and a very easy written test.
Mm-hmm.
Written test is like 10 questions. Things like, is speeding bad? And you're like, yeah.
Yes.
And then it'll have a sign like, what does this sign say? And it'll be like this, and you're like, oh, it says turn right, you know, and you're just easy stuff. And then the driving test is like impossibly difficult.
I would be terrified. Like if I rented a car,
Yeah.
and I drove here, I'd be terrified
Tokyo's
because
nuts.
they well for multiple reasons. One is Tokyo's nuts, and then two, they drive on the left side of the road. So I would almost immediately find myself just driving into oncoming traffic.
In the cities, it's not so bad because like you see where the other cars are going, so you just kind of like it's like a conga line. You know, you just follow the person in front of you.
Right.
And in the countryside, yeah, it does kind of get weird when no one's around and you instantly turn like, oh shit, I'm in the right lane. Need to be in the left lane. But
Give me 1 sec. Let me check on all
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
stuff. It's getting a little wet.
yeah, I was trying to
It looks like it's actually doing okay. I'm gonna dry it off a little bit.
like angle it, but
No, thanks for talking to me about all this stuff, man. This is fascinating. Yeah, I was like walking around and like I realized immediately like, oh, my stream is usually just me like talking to people, but I can't really talk to anyone if I don't speak any Japanese. And also I love hearing your story because so many people in the chat are talking about like how they are like, oh, it's cool seeing that you just went to Japan.
Yeah.
And like, you know, this was easy for me to just like come as a tourist,
yeah.
you know. But like, I mean, for you to come and fucking, oh, perfect, oh, amazing. For you to come and fucking make the jump to live here from Oklahoma, I mean, that's incredible. Okay, we're back. Okay, let me make double sure of everything.
Yep.
By the way, what is your real name?
Jason Martin.
Jason
so
Martin.
Martin. My nickname in middle school, my football coach called me Martian.
Ah.
And then when I was also in middle school, another one of my buddies loved Naruto, and I didn't at the time. Like I didn't love anything Japanese related at that time, but he said, "Oh yeah, Sensei Martian." So like, my PlayStation Network name for the past, I don't know, 15, 20 years has been Sensei Martian.
That's so funny because I read it. I kept reading it as Martin,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I'm fucking up. It's Martian.
Okay, yeah.
Oh man.
So Skytree's that way if you want to walk that way.
Yeah, what's a good direction to walk?
Yeah. So I think chat might like that. It's not too far either.
Okay, great.
10 minutes.
Yeah,
Tons
check
of
it
food
out.
over there too.
And then also,
Well,
there's this statue of two people fucking just in public.
so this is so what do we call it? in English it translates to wheelbarrow race, but they have this at like their sports day for kids.
This is a statue for children?
Well, it's not children per se, but the act is it's a sports day, so it is like they will, and sometimes they do it when the parents play with, like they'll have a school-wide sports day, and it is you get paired up, and then they do that maneuver.
Yeah.
Legs up.
Oh,
So
okay.
they call it a wheelbarrow race.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's more wholesome than I thought it was.
Yeah. A little
Perfect. So, do you tell me about the emotions that were going through your head when you like first got there? Were you like I'm sure there were many points where you wanted to like give up and go home.
So, I guess first off, like I said, the honeymoon phase gets you through a lot, and for me too. Which did you come in, Narita or Haneda?
I came in Haneda.
Haneda, yeah. So I can't like when my plane landed at like 6 or 7. I still remember 6 or 7 p.m. on like a Thursday afternoon, and you come in from Haneda, you see all of the city lights and the neon and stuff, and you're just like, wow, this shit's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
So then it hits you, because Narita's out in the countryside, you don't see all that cool stuff until you get a lot closer. But yeah, so emotions, a lot of, I think for the first year, it was, I don't want to go back too soon because my friends and family will think I failed.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, you can't make it. Like, you said you were going to live there. What's wrong? Like, you came back after 6 months. So I think there was the hype of honeymoon phase plus the fear of not being good enough. And so that kind of really helped me fuel to, like, work my ass off in everything I can do.
Right, you were motivated by not wanting to like, you know, kind of come back with your tail between your legs.
Exactly, like a defeated. And I mean, granted, I was still young. I think that's part of it too. I was young,
Yeah.
you know, 23, 24 at that time.
Right, I feel like that's the time to do it, right? Because if
Yes.
because you know, to fuck off to a foreign country with no money and no visa when you are like just a single dude,
Yeah.
it's whatever. It's irresponsible to do it when you have like a family.
Yes.
You know,
Well,
so
and
if you're gonna do it, now's the time.
That's one thing too. Like, you know, a lot of my friends back home when they were, I mean, a lot of my friends even became parents at 18, 19 years old.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like once you have a kid, you're kind of in that spot for another 20 years.
Right, sure.
And that's just not what I wanted at that time. So yeah, no, it was one of those things where I thought, okay, gotta get out, gotta see the world for a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, then after 2 or 3, like probably 2 years, it starts getting lonely. Like, because again, it also depends on the circles you run in. So sometimes it's, I don't know, eventually the drinking catches up, or the, you know, not speaking Japanese enough or whatever, it just starts to pile up.
Yeah.
So you start making changes, trying to get new circles, but then COVID happened, what, 2, 3 years ago now? Almost?
Yeah, almost.
So that kind of changed everything, and now it's like, people always ask, so are you going to be here forever? And you're just like, forever's a long fucking time, man.
Forever is
Like-
a long fucking time. So you got here, so you've been here 7 years, you said?
So 6 years, 9 months. March will be 7 years.
Okay, and do you regret a thing?
I wish I had, like, my Japanese is all right. I wish
Okay.
I had studied a little bit harder so I can be like, because I think even if I studied hard, I don't know, a lot of people throw around, oh, I'm fluent in this and I'm fluent in Spanish. It's like, okay, cool, you can order at Taco Bell, but like,
Right, but can you like
it's
have
can you
a
go to
real...
Guatemala? Can you go to Mexico? Like,
Right.
you know. So I can do a lot, but like I said, that's my only regret, is not studying just a little bit harder. But I'm still capable. Like, I'm still, you need another drink?
Are you learning, oh, from the vending machine?
Yeah.
Dude, when I first, like, it's funny, okay, we're talking about the honeymoon phase. The first day, I was like, anything food or drink-wise that even remotely presents itself to me, I am trying.
Trying,
So I just looked at all the vending machines and I'm like, what's a cool Japanese
What
drink
is
to
there
try?
any food you are like really opposed to eating?
Really opposed to eating.
Like, for example, like I remember one of my first dates I ever went on, a girl, we were eating at a yakiniku restaurant. Yakiniku is like grilled meat,
Yeah.
and I didn't fucking know anything. And this girl's like, oh yeah, you should eat this.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, what is it? And they go,
Yeah.
oh, basashi. And I go, basashi.
Okay.
Basashi.
Yeah.
Like horse? So yeah, it's raw horse meat that's just like diced up. And you know, coming
Was
from
it any
Oklahoma.
good?
So when you eat it like that,
Yeah.
it depends on what it's marinated in. So
Right.
that was soy and garlic. So it tasted like soy and garlic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can have Rio basashi, like thicker sliced stuff. That's pretty good. It depends on the quality and how fresh. That's not bad. You can eat, it's called torisashi.
Torisashi.
Torisashi is like raw chicken. So they steam the very outer layer of it, but then the inside is all raw. So that's kind of, it's not like I eat it often, but it's one of those things where a lot of tourists don't even try. So you said you're going to Shinjuku. Shinjuku, a little bit north of Shinjuku, it's a place called Shinokubo. Shinokubo is like the Koreatown.
Yeah.
You can eat live octopus.
Live octopus?
So they cut the tentacles off on the plate, and then they still squirm around.
That actually sounds kind of sick.
pretty cool.
Is
You
it
gotta-
good?
You gotta kind of, it's chewy, and you gotta be careful because if the suckers are too big, they'll get caught on your throat.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Look how huge this tower is. Goes all the way up. So is this Sky Tower or Tokyo Tower?
Skytree.
Skytree, okay.
Tokyo Tower is in Roppongi.
Oh, okay.
So here's another strat you're gonna want to do when you go to Shinjuku.
Yeah.
And I can send it to you in a message.
Yeah, sure.
You want to go to Tocho.
Tocho.
It's the city government hall. It's free, and you can go all the way to the top building for free.
Really?
Versus Skytree is like 3,000 yen or something. Roppongi, Tokyo Tower is I think 2,000 yen. So Shinjuku, it's free. Go all the way up. No problems there.
So you talked about going on dates. Do you have a girlfriend here?
Yeah, I do right now.
Is how recently did you start dating her?
We've been together for a while.
And she
probably-
lives here in Japan?
Yeah. She lives
Nice.
pretty much where I live. Yeah.
How did you meet her?
We met maybe online. I don't know. It's been I think an online app probably, either a dating app or a language exchange app. One of those two.
Is she Japanese?
Yeah, she's Japanese. Yeah.
Does she speak English?
No, she doesn't.
Oh, she only speaks Japanese?
When we first started dating, it was very, 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 very minimal English. Yeah.
So, does she like help you? I mean, you met her on a language exchange, you said, right?
Language exchange or a dating, I don't remember, but it was something online app for sure. Maybe
Does,
Tinder or maybe Hello Talk or something like
Does
that.
having a Japanese girlfriend kind of help you learn a lot of Japanese?
Not really, because here we'll cross you. The language that we use is a little bit different, and then also like outside of daily stuff, which I already know. It's you're not talking like boyfriend girlfriend. They don't talk about business stuff. Like you're not learning even in English. Like, oh honey, how was your day at work? Oh, it was good. I was tired. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You're not really improving your language.
But you're able to have like basic conversation, like you can have this conversation that we're having right now in
Japanese or like mix it with Japanese, depending on what she wants or what I want.
Yeah. And so she can also kind of speak like conversational English?
Now she can, yeah. But at the time, and a lot of people too here, they have a basic working knowledge of English, but it's not something that they just use a lot. So kind of like the Spanish thing in the States, like you read it or you write it or whatever for homework, but then when someone says, hey, how are you? And people go, oh, I'm good, and you? Or very like robotic responses.
Man, so it really feels like everything worked out for you. I mean, you have a job, you have a girlfriend, you are learning Japanese. You obviously know, enough Japanese to have like full conversations, and you came here knowing nothing. I assume you have a visa now.
Yeah. You have to get a visa before you start working.
So you took a huge risk, and it sounds like it worked out really well.
Yeah, and that's one thing, I tell a lot of people, like a lot of my clients now, obviously they're Japanese, but they want to go abroad, and some of them you know, if they're single, I'd say definitely go for it. And the same back in the States, like, it's a lot of people, especially now that none of us are going to retire, you know, Social Security's not going to pan out for most of us.
Sure, yeah.
Go enjoy your 20s, because you need to still save some money, and I saved, you know, some money since I've been here, but you got to go out and enjoy it, otherwise it's not.
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, well, no, I mean, I fully agree with you. I mean, again, that's part of the big reason why I'm here is because, like, you know, I don't know when my time will come.
Well, when I saw you a couple months ago when you posted it, I was like, shit, dude, he's going to be here, but I have work that evening, so.
Oh, with the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, dude, I saw you at the temple, I was like, oh shit, that's like 35 minutes away.
Give me 1 second, I'm going to check back in on the stream.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, this is a fun little place.
Yeah, there's tons of little cool stuff.
Give me 1 second here. Yeah, no, thanks again for talking. The whole stream, I was just walking around.
I messaged my little brother. I think he's probably watching, but I messaged him. I was like, dude, Therapy Gecko's like just 30 minutes from me, and I said I don't want to stream snipe him because it's like I feel like that's.
No, I'm very glad you did stream snipe.
It's like some of the chatters too, like, well, what if he's gonna like rob you? It's like, well, okay, like.
I don't think you're gonna rob me.
Yeah.
How's everything sounding and looking,
beer.
chat?
Little
Go
bro.
grab a beer. I'm his little bro. Everyone call him. Is that your little bro?
Little bro.
People,
my little brother.
People in the chat are apologizing for saying that they thought you were gonna.
Lyle, rob him, please.
Oh, now I have to rob you.
I've got a lot of pent up. Hold on. Is Japan cheaper? If Japan is cheaper than US, then I would.
Yeah, they want to know if Japan is cheaper than the US.
Okay, so yes and no. It depends on your style of living. Like my first, even now, I have what I would consider a decent apartment. It's like 380, 400 square feet, and I pay about $900 a month. I do live in a decent part of town, but you have to. I mean, if you're from New York or LA, maybe you're used to it, but if you're from the Midwest, this cut everything in half or less. I mean, your living space has to shrink. Portion sizes. I cook at home quite a bit. Things like gyms are really expensive. If you have tattoos, most gyms won't even let you in.
Gyms won't let you in if you have tattoos?
A lot of most public baths don't either. Like
Really?
Clemson or Hot Springs. Yeah.
So are tattoos like frowned upon a lot here?
Well, if you're non-Japanese, you kind of can get away with some stuff, but it's not always allowed. So that noodle shop right there, that used to be a Cold Stone Creamery.
So it used to be a Cold Stone Creamery?
Yeah. They used to have, like, this place probably got hit heavy by COVID, but we can probably go up. If
Yeah, let's keep going up.
I think it's all right. We don't have to buy tickets until we're there.
So, so tell me this. When is the last time that you went back to the States?
I just went back in May, but I've only.
Was that your first time back in 6 years?
So that was my second time back. Yeah, because going to Oklahoma is not that fun. But what I mean, like, when you fly, there's no direct flights to Oklahoma, so you have to connect, and it's just a pain in the butt, you know.
Yeah.
So. Up umbrella. We can walk out there if you want to get a shot of.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yunchi needs poop, but that building over there, that gold. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, let's bust out the umbrella and get in there. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh man, you came here. You're a nice guy. You didn't rob me, and you got an umbrella.
Yeah.
You're the man,
if
Marshall.
It says chance of rain, I always have an umbrella. So.
Okay, So Oklahoma's not fun. What do you mean by that?
Well, no. So I mean the commute to Oklahoma is terrible.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's 16, 17 hours flying, not direct. Just not direct. It's just a real pain to get back home, and it's pretty expensive too. Like even on a cheap flight, it's going to be best case scenario $800, $900. Worst case, $1,200. COVID case, $1,500. You know, just like, and since it's not business, like, I don't have any work trips, so I can't write any of it off.
Tell me about your friends and family in Oklahoma. Do they miss you that you're all the way here in Japan?
So, like my mom and little brother are still in there. My older brother actually moved to Dubai last year, kind of taking my
Your lead and
kind of
fucking
he
off
said,
to a
"Oh,
foreign
well,
country.
Jason's did it, so whatever."
Right.
Mom's back home. Yeah, she misses me, but she understands like this is where I want to be,
Yeah.
and so that like she can't beg me. So we can either go down or we can go. Oh, that's tickets. Yes, we gotta go back down this way.
Okay.
So, you know, it's kind of one of those things, because one of the last things I did before I asked her, I said, what's one thing you regret? And she's like, I wish I traveled more. So I was like, okay, cool. I just bought a ticket to Tokyo. I leave in 2 weeks. She said, oh, okay.
Oh, so you bought the ticket and then you asked her that and then she said that and then you were revealed that you bought the ticket?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's the one thing she said, is that she
Well,
regrets not traveling
yes, because, you know, like, traveling internationally. Like,
Yeah.
my mom was very, I have 2 brothers, older brother, little brother. And we did a lot of road trips around America. You know, driving to the Grand Canyon, going to like Albuquerque, you know, Midwest family stuff. And so, yeah, she said, I wish I traveled more internationally. So I said, okay, well, I bought a ticket. I got to get out of Oklahoma. Like, you know, I just got to go. And she said, yeah, just, you know, do it. If you ever want to come back, you have a place. So I'm very fortunate in that regard that I have a, you know, working relationship, or like a good relationship with my mom. So if
Right.
shit hits the fan, and at the time, if shit hit the fan, okay, I can go back and.
Right. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm wondering if they used to have what's called gachapon, and you put in like 100 yen, but I don't know.
Ooh, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth, Marshall.
Well, just until the rain lets up.
Yeah,
Just have
definitely,
trouble
definitely.
outside. But yeah, it's one of those things where, yeah. So that, and my little brother's doing fine. You know, he's still in Oklahoma, and then a lot of my other extended family are all over the place. So that's another reason I don't like to go home, because it's like I can only go home to one place, but I have family in California or East Coast.
Actually, hold that thought. I want to get this from you when we're not in a place with a bunch of. Let's just walk through here, but I want to get that stuff from you when we're outside of the music. This is hella cool.
So this is what they call the omiyage shop. Omiyage is like souvenirs. So all of these things, like, this is one thing in the States you don't have. All of their sweets are kind of prepackaged like this. And so whenever anyone goes on like a business trip or a personal trip, they get something like this for their coworkers. They bring it back, and so not this specifically, but you know, you go to Hokkaido and you get a cheese tart, or you go to Tochigi and you get strawberries or whatever it is that's famous in that area. So they'll have strawberry cookies or cheese cookies or whatever.
Interesting. Oh, I love that master ball. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, this is awesome.
But that's another thing I've come to appreciate, you know, because a lot of people who come here already love animation and manga or something. I wasn't really like that. I mean, all of us watched Dragon Ball growing up. I mean, any guy in their 20s or 30s probably watched some amount of Dragon Ball. But besides that, I hadn't really watched anything. So the longer I'm here, the more I can kind of, the longer I'm here, the more appreciation I have for that. And I think part of that is too, the more you read or the more you interact with things like that. But
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like there are people who maybe they come thinking like,
well,
oh, I'm gonna go to Japan. It's gonna be just like anime. And then
that happens a lot.
the opposite is like you're not even into it, but then you come here and then you get into it.
Yeah.
So okay, you were telling me more about your relationship with your mom.
Yeah. So she's still stateside, but she.
I'll go first.
Yeah, I think we can go.
Can we go up here?
We can go up and then come back down.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, she's still in Oklahoma. Little town. She moved from my hometown where I was born. She moved out even further. So it's just, I think there's 100 people in her town now. So
Really?
There's a
Is
post
she
office.
now? Has anyone ever come to visit you?
Yes. So my mom came to visit me, my older brother came to visit me, and my grandpa and my step grandma came to visit me. different year. I mean, that's probably been 6 years ago now, 5-6 years ago.
And how was it when they came to visit you?
Oh gosh. So when mom came to, because another thing too, a lot of times when family comes to visit back home, you stay at their home, and that was the assumption. But
The assumption was that they were going to stay
at
with
my house.
you. Yeah.
So my apartment that they visited me in was like 120 square feet.
Yeah.
So it was great for the first few days, but then you're living on top of each other for 10 days.
Were you even able to have a place for them to stay?
Yes. So luckily that worked. I had a loft, very very small loft apartment, and not like loft like it's fancy, like loft. I had to pretty much crawl because it was so short. Almost like an attic room or trunk space. Yeah. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, sumimasen. Konnichiwa. Give me 1 second. I'm checking back on the.
Yeah. Sometimes in these
There we
big
go.
buildings it gets a little bit tough because the concrete and metal kind of mess with the signals and stuff.
MS Troy lives in Oklahoma. He says, I'll be stuck in Oklahoma forever. We have here a man who escaped Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was from Weatherford, Oklahoma, so...
Okay, so, hold on. Sorry, I know it kind of takes me out of it when I...
You're good. No, I get it.
There we go. Okay, so, what were we saying? You're talking about living on top of each other.
Yeah, so it's, we obviously didn't share the same bed, but I had a couch bed at the time, and then I had a Japanese style mat that I stayed on, but just constantly being in each other's space all the time.
Right.
And it's not, again, it's not even the apartment's so small, okay, you go to the bathroom, you hear it. Someone's snoring, you hear it, or, whatever it is, like that for 10 days, when I've been alone for 2 years.
Right.
And then there's also kind of I don't want to say the dynamic of, she's still, when she came, she's like, oh, this is my son, I can kind of tell him what to do.
Oh,
But
right,
it's
right.
No. Instead of being...
The dynamic
with
is still...
parent-child.
Right, and you know what, that's a universal
Yeah, well,
thing.
yes.
It's just a universal thing, is your mom is always going to feel like she's,
The boss.
the boss, and that you're, in your mind, in her mind, and I feel this with my mom too, you're always going to be 6 years old.
Yes. And so I told, I had to have a little come to Jesus moment. And I said, hey, listen, I've been here by myself for 2 years now. And I'll let you go first. So in Tokyo, so here's Tokyo, we stand on the left side. And then when you go to Kyoto, you stand on the right side.
So in Kyoto, do they drive in Kyoto?
So yeah, it's a little bit more common. In actual Kyoto, there's enough trains and buses, you'll be fine. But once you get, it's not the same way with Tokyo, where Tokyo there's an infinite number of trains. Not infinite, literally. I know people are gonna be like, "There's only 10."
Right.
There's a ton of trains in Tokyo, tons of buses. Walking, the roads are nice to walk on, actual roads, actual sidewalks.
Yeah.
In the Midwest, a lot of places don't even have sidewalks. So you're just it's just road or grass.
Right.
So,
and so in Kyoto, there's always sidewalks?
Almost always.
That's great.
Or there's at least a bike lane that you can kind of, especially on. So there's kind of that situation. Yeah.
What do you miss the most about Oklahoma, if anything?
Real bacon.
Real bacon.
Real bacon,
Okay.
American cuts of bacon. Yeah.
What about your friends? Do you have any friends that are still in Oklahoma that miss you, that have ever come to visit?
So I have one group of friends, they live in LA. Some of them are from Oklahoma, but they live in LA. They do LA, they're in kind of the movie business or video business, editing and all that sort of stuff. Working, Hollywood stuff, I guess. Is the summary of that. They came to visit me, and they'll be visiting me next year. And then Yeah, I mean, I have tons of friends back home. We still kind of chat, but it's another thing, you know, after university or after college. You know, I think a lot of people, and that's another thing that kind of hit me hard too, is in college, especially when you're hanging like a small town, small university, or you go to university with a lot of your friends, and then you graduate.
Yeah.
It was, most people, they have that kind of lonely feeling of, oh, my friends aren't like, oh, he has a job, oh, he has to work over, can't go to the bar. When you're students, everybody kind of has the same schedule.
Of course, yeah, of course.
But then after that, people have different things. Some people go to grad school. Some
Right. Some people, like you were saying, they have
Yeah.
kids, and then that's why they can't hang out, or like just, you know,
So,
your lives start to develop, and you have
I
less
think
time for each
that
other.
loneliness paired with when I came here, that kind of, it was a clean break.
Sure,
so it kind of
yeah.
allowed me to accept that.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
Like, when I go back, it's fine, but like they're also fine. Like
Right.
it's not like I'm not lonely because I know that like even if I go back, it's not the same. Like my piece of
Yeah.
the puzzle has changed.
Right.
But like
It's very interesting the way you say that it's a clean break, because
Yeah.
it's like, well, okay, everybody's moving on to the next phase of their
Yeah.
new life, whether or not they're leaving Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Because we're just, you know, growing up, and that's what happens when you leave school and you grow up. But for you, you're like, okay, well, time to move on to mine.
yes.
Tell me about your friends here in Japan. How did you meet them?
Okay, so I don't have a ton of friends. Like, I have a lot of acquaintances, I guess is one way to put it.
Okay.
But as far as my best friend, he's from Ireland, actually.
Oh, really?
And he has been here longer than me. He's been here 11 years, 12 years.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Just make sure I'm still filming. Okay.
Yeah, so he's been here for over 10. I forget what the number, but yeah, we meet up. The problem is since COVID, everyone's so comfortable being at home by themselves.
Yeah.
So like even me, it's like, you know, if my little brother hadn't said go meet him, I probably would have been like, I'll just stay home. Because again, like I said, the stream sniping is such a weird thing. Like, because I've played around with the idea of making content before.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
Oh, I think you'd be great at it. It's so funny when you first showed up and started talking. I was like, oh, it's like, well, normally I like when I'm talking to someone about all the things you're talking about.
Yeah.
I have to cut in and ask certain questions to kind of get a story moving along. But you're like,
Yeah,
you're
it's-
great at this. If you ever thought about doing it, you should.
yeah, it's one of those things of like, so in Japanese there's a word they call chuto hampa.
Yeah.
Chuto hampa means like half-ass or half measure.
Chuto Hompa?
Chuto hampa. So
Chuto hampa.
Hampa means like half of something, and chuto means like in the middle. So it's just kind of like you're doing something halfway,
Right.
half measure, half-ass. Like Breaking Bad. Like the way I think of it, Breaking Bad.
Right.
He says no half measure, and that's kind of how I view creating content. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to do something half-ass.
Sure.
But then part of me is also like, you know, there's a saying, there's someone out there who's doing what you want to do,
Right.
who is less qualified than you.
Well, can I say this? All right, you told me you were like, I wanted to come to Japan, and I didn't want to wait until, you know, I had enough money. I didn't want to wait until I had a visa. I didn't want to wait until I had a plan. I just wanted to start.
Yeah.
And you figured it out.
Yes.
So why not do everything like that?
I tend to agree, but I think it's one of those things where if I start out like that, it's fine, but it's continuing that. So even something like, I mean, it's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure for you in the beginning, and I don't want to assume, but
No, please.
when you first started doing content,
Yeah.
part of you was probably like, man, what am I doing?
Oh, 100%.
Not like, obviously you enjoyed it and it was fun, but you were like, if I do this for 3 years
Yeah.
and nothing happens,
Yeah.
was it worth it?
Well, it's funny because, I mean, even while I was streaming,
いいですか?
what does itasko mean?
Is it fine?
Oh.
Sashi.
I've been saying daijoubu.
すいません.
Oh.
ありがとうございます.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah, so you could say, if you want to be like really formal, so I, like, yoi, but, so if you want to be really formal, yoroshi desu ka, like, is that fine, or
Yeah.
like, so things like, so I mentioned, chat said, I forget the guy's name, but shout out to whoever said, ask Martian about, can I interview you?
Yeah.
So, in Japanese. So a couple things you would say maybe like minsetsu mo ii desu ka? Like, minsetsu is an interview. But if you just want to say like questions, like shitsumon shite mo ii desu ka? Like, shitsumon is questions, it's, hey, can I ask
Yeah.
you some questions?
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
So I was gonna say, it's funny to the point of like, what am I doing? I mean, I was thinking that before you showed up. I was like, dude. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I walk around as a gecko, and like nothing happens. I'm just kind of like not talking and walking around awkwardly.
Yeah,
I mean, even in that, it's kind of funny.
Well,
But like, then sometimes you meet a guy, he tells you his life story. It's fascinating. Then you go do this, and you're walking around, and it goes beautifully. So
I think
I roll with the punches.
I think part of it though is it like the thing is, how do I say this? With having a cool little outfit or having a kind of, I don't want to say shtick, but having,
No, shtick. It's a
having
shtick.
your persona
Right.
helps it. And
100%.
so I'm kind of in the middle of like, well, yeah, I could wear an alien head and I could be a Martian, but like,
Yeah.
do I want to, like, in Japan, is that going to break the ice more than just showing up, being a good guy? Like what breaks the ice to the point of being able to have a conversation with somebody?
Right.
And I feel like a lot of content creation nowadays too is 30-second TikToks, 30-second Instagram reels, and I mean, I'm sure you know it as well, like, all about that algorithm. And it's like, if what I make doesn't hit the algorithm, then there is, again, I want to make content, and everyone should want to make content, but at a certain point...
It's like, what's the point of making it if nobody's watching?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. You seem like a competent human being.
Thank you.
So you're above... So you already are like above most people trying to do anything in the universe. You know? So I think if you wanted to try something, you'd eventually find your format, you know?
Yeah.
Also, I mean, even just telling the story, like the whole story of everything that you just told me, I mean, it would make a great YouTube video.
That's actually, I've been toying around with that, and it's just one of those things of like, you know, releasing, because it's a lot of those things too, like releasing content, it almost like you need somebody to give you that boost in the beginning.
Right.
I don't want to say collab, but
This is a little bit of a collab right now. We're doing a little bit of a collab.
But it's almost necessary to get that early shout out. Otherwise, you never, like, it's impossible to break through sometimes, you know. And I think a lot of times too, like, I don't have any interest in making 30-second TikToks.
Sure.
Like, I like, kind of like yourself, like longer form, like I want to go to Japanese businesses and interview the people who have run the same noodle shop for 40 years.
What? That would be great. You do that.
So,
you put subtitles on it. I think that'd be amazing.
And it's like, you know, because a lot of people go and make food content, but they don't ask about.
They don't ask about the people.
making.
See, I like that though, because I like things. You know, I mean, it's almost like you go to Japan and you make a video about the sights and the food, but not like, you know, I want to actually talk to the folks.
Yes.
So I think that'd be great, man.
And I think,
So I want to know.
yeah.
What does the future look like for you? What are your plans? What are your hopes? What are your dreams?
So yeah, 2023. It's kind of two goals. Start, and even this year I kind of tinkered with YouTube stuff. I filmed, edited, didn't post anything, but at least start posting something. I think twice a month maybe is a good goal to you know, make 2023 also lose a little bit of weight. COVID hit some of us. COVID hit me a little bit harder, yeah.
Same.
But yeah, those are kind of my two things. Besides that, we can go this way. Besides that, just like, I'm pretty convinced. I don't really care about money so much. And obviously, some people are gonna be like, oh, you know, a lot of it is living within your means. I don't make a ton of money. I make a reasonable amount for being 29, and I just save, cook at home. You know, don't drink that often. It's pretty much just like that. I mean, that's the big thing, is no debt. So pay off your credit card every month. Unless you have 0%, then it's okay. But make sure you pay it before that. I mean, it's just, and then enjoying, like, oh, so next week I'm flying to see my brother in Abu Dhabi, so I'll
Nice.
be there for 10 days. But yeah, just I think traveling around Japan more now that it's actually open. 3 years of being almost completely locked down, or kind
Yeah,
of.
tell me what that was like. I want to know what was COVID like when it hit here.
Yeah, so in the beginning, so COVID started, February 2020-ish, March 2020. Japan went into state of emergency, so Kinkyu Taisingen, in June, I think. And that means anyone, so that's another reason I had to stay in Japan.
Yeah.
Borders were closed to anyone except Japanese individuals. And even if I went back home, could not re-enter the country unless you had a permanent visa or long-term visas, so working visas. It was just incredibly, incredibly difficult to re-enter the country. Every restaurant, bar, etc. closed at 8 p.m. No alcohol was allowed. Masks, had to wear masks. Every place, even now, you still have to do hand sanitizer whenever you enter stores.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of optional, but
I've noticed that, like, okay, so I mean, you go to the U.S., nobody's wearing
no
masks.
one's wearing masks. Yeah.
Over here, people are like, it's not just everyone wears a mask indoors. Everyone's wearing a mask everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. If you go to some of the a little bit nicer, or not nice, upscale areas, some of the people don't wear masks. But yeah, I think part of it's the virus. But people have to remember, in Japan before COVID, springtime they would wear masks for, they call it kafunsho. Kafunsho is like pollen allergies. So people would wear masks in the spring because of pollen allergies, didn't want them. And then people wear masks in the winter because of the flu.
Yeah.
So masks were already pretty common in Japan. And then thirdly too, like...
Right, I was going to ask about that because I know that, like, there was a lot of mask wearing even before COVID.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is that that's why you see a lot of people now still have them, because it's one of these things where it's just easier. And I mean, for a lot of younger people too, like, you know, oh, you don't want to shave your 5 o'clock shadow? Wear a mask. You don't want to wear makeup? Wear a mask. You know, it's and even, oh, you're sleepy, hungover?
Right.
Wear a mask, you know? So
right. Everyone looks attractive when you can't see most of their face.
Yes. So it's kind of that system where, you know, it's and you know, there's a big, like, when I went back home, I wore a mask, and people were like, "Why are you wearing a mask?" I was like, "Well, at that time, you had to test negative." And I was like, "Listen, I love you guys, but like, me wearing a mask is not political. I'm not doing this because I think Biden's right or Trump is wrong. No, I'm wearing it because if it gives me a 1% chance to go back home, which this is my home now, I got to take that 1%. I mean, whatever the math is, you know."
So tell me that is when did Japan start to feel like home for you? How long do you think it took?
Probably 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Probably 3 years. Yeah, like at least 2 years. Once you're able to like go to the city office and like ask for paperwork and understand what they're saying, or watching movies, like watching Japanese movies.
Yeah.
That's another, like when I go to the movie theater and watch a Japanese movie, and I'm like, hey, I understood like 75% of that. That's where I kind of felt like home. Because before that, you go watch a movie and you're just like, I'm lost. There's nothing here. Because the cool thing about kanji, about the writing system, if you know enough, you can kind of guess some meanings.
Interesting.
But if you don't, like if you're just listening, kind of like, you know, in America we have a lot of different accents. Southern accent, or Cajun accent, or Northern accent, whatever. Just because you speak native level English doesn't mean you're going to understand every single word from every single person based on how fast they speak or based on whatever. I mean, it's completely different.
Is there anything that you feel like is kind of missing from your experience here that would make it feel even more like home?
No, I think because I've been here long enough now, like I've adapted. So the things that I thought I needed, I don't.
Interesting. What were the things you thought you needed?
Well, even things like, I mean, the idea of, which is, I haven't had it for a long, long time, but like the idea of owning a car.
Yeah.
The idea of, I don't know, I mean, just, and it might just be part of the COVID thing too, but like, nowadays, I just do what I want to do. So it's like, oh, I want to go out and meet therapy guy, I'll go do that. Or, oh, I just want to sit at home and order Domino's pizza, I'll do that too. Like, it's just, as I get older, it's one of those things, like, doing what you actually want to do, instead of doing the things you think you have to do. Like, oh, I'm 29, I need to put in my 401k, or I need to like...
Right.
Nah.
I mean, I almost feel like, I mean, it's funny because you're talking about it on a micro scale, right? Like, oh, today I'm going to go meet the Gecko when I could do my laundry or whatever the fuck. But even on a macro scale, you're like, you know, you're in Oklahoma, all your friends are probably, you know, going to school or doing this or that and the other thing, and you're like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to fuck off and go to Japan.
It's kind of one of those things too, and a lot of people, I remember one of my friends told me, he was like, man, you're being selfish. And I thought, for a second, when I heard that, I mean, this is years and years ago, and I thought, well, I mean, is it? Is it selfish to try to do something? And then at that time, I mean, he had some stuff he was going through, but going out and doing what you think is right, even if it's wrong later. In retrospect, if you go, man, that was a mistake, I think it's better to do it and then learn from that mistake than just be like, it's like, I don't know, playing an RPG, but never taking any steps or never making any choices. Like, if you don't ever make choices, and again, some choices have consequences.
Of course.
But you never get to see consequences if you never make a choice. So, yeah.
Right. Man, it's totally better to take the chance and have it fail than to never have taken the chance at all.
Yeah. So, how long have you been in Tokyo so far?
I have been in Tokyo for, let's see, what day is today?
Today is
Tuesday? I arrived here Thursday afternoon. So far I've been to Shibuya,
Yeah, Shibuya's wild.
Harajuku, and a couple other places. I've been staying in I was staying in Akihabara. Yeah.
It sucks because a lot of Akiba has changed. Akiba is the short version, but Akihabara has changed a lot since a lot of the original stores closed down. Like the Sega gaming store closed down.
Yeah.
It's still really cool. Definitely all the chatters, you need to go there, but it's changed quite a bit since COVID. So
I'm gonna check in with the chat real quick. I'm gonna see if they have any questions for you or anything. Let me stop real quick. Whew. Oh, I can't thank you enough for coming out to meet me, man.
Dude,
this is
I'm
awesome.
so excited.
Let's see here.
Okay, my little brother says, this is Sir watching you talk to Gecko. Tell him I said hey.
Oh, right. People can follow. Are people? So, are you ever
My
gonna?
little brother is, he's...
So, if you do content, are you gonna stream under your Sensei Martian?
So, I will probably stream games and talk show types. I don't want to, like, I think, because I think doing like a radio talk show would be pretty famous in Japan, and it's not quite there yet, because people in Japan, this is one thing where doing like street interviews is kind of okay, especially in Shibuya, but talking about anything kind of deep, a lot of people avoid it. Like some of your chat mentioned earlier, like on like the perverts.
Right, yeah.
You can ask about it, but no one's gonna, everyone's gonna be like, oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Right, they're not gonna want to talk about it that much.
Or even like, you know, oh, tell me about the relationship with your mom. Some people are like, mama, you know, they'll kind of sugarcoat it. Like they're not gonna tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure tomorrow I'm doing my like actual like sit down, talk to a Gecko interviews, and I'm sure I'll figure that out tomorrow.
Yeah, Shibuya is like 15 minutes walk from my house, so that's pretty cool.
Do you want to tell the chat to say a random letter number combination? Pick a letter and a number.
M49.
Can we get some M49s in the chat, please? Watch this. They're gonna type M49.
There we go.
There it is.
You gotta stream anything that people have spoken, Sensei? Well, I mean...
Sensei, you gotta! Let's see, oh, I wasn't even streaming.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. I'll stream. Dude, they're plugging my...
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think that... okay, I'll start streaming. YouTube will also be... Yeah, I don't know how to plug it because I don't have anything there yet, but... This is incredible, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Gecko collab. Sensei in the sheets. No. It's Sensei in the streets. Senpai in the streets.
What is? Hold on, let me check on
Senpai is
this
like
thing
your,
real quick.
like your. They have kohai and senpai, so like anytime you watch an anime, like, oh senpai, notice me, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah, I've seen the senpai notice me memes.
So senpai is like at work or in school. It's someone like I guess we'd call like an upperclassman or an upperclassmate. But the problem is it also happens in work. So it's like, but it's a little bit different because they have a word like toshiue. Toshiue is like someone who's older than you, but it's also not like, I don't know. Senpai is usually someone who's kind of like a mentor, but they're not like a teacher. They're kind of like a friend teacher. I don't know. It's someone.
Is senpai similar to like, you know, daddy? Like everyone people call each other daddy.
No, that's. I think daddy has a much more sexualized meaning. Senpai. I mean, even in work, you have work senpais. You have, you know, gym senpais. I mean, anyone can be a senpai. It's someone who was there before you, is within a couple years range, and you know, it kind of takes care of you. So, like for example, if you played sports and you're, I don't know, a 9th grader on the baseball team, and there's an 11th grader who's your friend, and he's, you know, kind of taking care of you, or kind of teaching you the ropes, that's a senpai. Yeah.
Oh, it's someone saying it means it makes somebody who is higher than you in rank. Oh, it's someone who is further ahead than you in life or profession. Seniority.
Yeah, it's not necessarily about rank. It's a little bit less formal than that, but yes. Senpai, colleague, you make 8 iced tea, 8. That's correct.
D Desired says, Jason, it is 11:22 p.m. in the Midwest, so I'm going to sleep. You are amazing and have so many experiences and great advice. Thank you and good night. And I agree with that sentiment. I'm so glad that I met you, man.
Women
This
can
has
be
been great.
senpai too. That's true. Yeah, Sama. Whoever said Sama is honorific. Look for a Nintendo fan. How did we go to Tokyo to meet up from a dude?
You're a Nintendo fan, aren't you?
I am a Nintendo
Everyone's
fan.
a Nintendo fan.
Nintendo is more West Side anyway, so go ahead. Does Japan have American fast food chains? Yes, they have a ton. McDonald's, Burger King, Shake Shack, Wendy's, Taco Bell. But it's different. It's different. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, I had Japanese McDonald's the other night. It was okay.
It's different.
You know what I had? I had the teriyaki burger, and then I also had like a melon. I had a melon soda with with ice cream on top of
So
it.
I know you mentioned the beef stew pie earlier. That's a brand new item. That just came out like
It did?
a month ago, maybe. Yeah.
Is the beef? Is it any good? Have you had
I
it?
haven't had it yet. Yeah, because I don't eat at McDonald's very often. My guilty pleasure, they have what's called. It's called the Sankaku Choco Pie. Sankaku means triangle, and it's a triangle chocolate pie, and it's.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. I saw that.
Incredible. And for like, it's 160 yen, so like $1.20. But it's, if you get it fresh, it's so. Dare I say, good, because it's McDonald's, but it's good, and it's like the inside is like that molten lava cake type.
Whoa,
You know, like,
that sounds really good.
so the outside is kind of croissant-like, kind of fluffy and layered. Inside's molten lava cake. A little bit of almonds in there.
Yeah, I'm losing a little bit of connection with the chat.
Go. I wonder if it's because we're by this building. We kind of walk in.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, before we leave, I wanted to ask you about your recommendations for the vending machines.
Vending machines.
Give me a sec here.
Yeah. Let's
I'm
make
gonna
sure.
cut out.
Yeah. Let's walk a little bit. Get out of here.
Sure, yeah. Hold on. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm recording on this phone.
Oh.
I actually have a genius setup here. I'm recording on this phone, and then I'm streaming on this camera, so that way if my stream cuts out,
Yeah.
I still have a
Backup of it.
backup of it.
Do you use like a digital recorder at home, or like whenever you do your studio?
My call-in stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, with my call-in
So I guess
stuff,
you probably have a full like audio rig set up.
it's my setup is actually kind of really shitty.
Okay.
but it works. That's the thing,
well,
you know.
I mean, that's one thing. Whenever because I have like a home studio at my house actually, and one of the things is
Oh yeah.
one of the things is that audio quality. Like that's one thing. Whenever I started getting equipment, it's like, what can I control? I can't control the content. I can't control the quality, you know, because my background.
Well, you know
we're
what's
vegan.
you know what is so funny that I had a call with somebody about this recently on the I think it's famous over.
Oh man, Commandant DNB, thank you for your kind words.
Yeah, oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm really stoked to see everyone very inspired by your story. I'm inspired by your story, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's do this vending machine.
Yeah. So my first recommendation for vending machines in Tokyo, you're probably fine, but always pick something that's gonna be fresh.
Okay.
Because for example, we see Pepsi in this vending machine.
Yeah.
No one fucking drinks Pepsi, so they never restock it. So Pepsi's gonna be old as shit. Because no one ever drinks Pepsi. Same with Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. The ingredients here. So for example, like Dr. Pepper. Back home in the chat, how many ingredients does Dr. Pepper have?
How many?
23. Back home.
Oh.
Here in Japan, it says over 20.
What is this thing? This looks kind of delicious.
Okay, Deca Vita. So Deca means big, Vita, C. So this means it's got a lot. It's a vitamin C drink. A lot of people would drink it to like get some energy or something.
How's the milk tea? The milk tea looks
Milk
pretty
tea's
good.
fine. Milk tea's fine.
Do you have a favorite thing in this vending machine, or should we go to a different one?
This has a lot of coffee variants.
Yeah.
Actually, a surprising amount of coffee variants.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you want something here, I'll get you something.
Oh, here, no.
No. Boku no ogori, my treats.
Oh,
This is
arigato
a treat.
gozaimasu. Let's see. What do you think is best here?
Okay.
What's your chef's
you know
recommendation?
What? I'll buy this so you can try some.
Yeah, sounds great.
I don't love it, but it's not bad. It's just one of those things that, okay, for the experience.
Dude, I'm telling you, when I first was like walking to my, am I working? When I first was walking to my my hotel, I was every fucking one of these I walked by, I was like, oh, I gotta get some. Oh.
That happens. Dropping all sorts of shit.
Oh, is it working?
Still nothing? Huh.
Oh, we can go to a different
We'll
one.
have to go to a different one.
Maybe they'll have better stuff.
It's weird that it's broken. Thank
Here
you.
you go, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's actually a convenience store.
Oh yeah, let's go there. Oh yeah,
convenience
tell me
store
if there's any, let's go into the convenience store. Tell me if there's anything delicious in there that you recommend.
So you know what's one thing that one of the first things that I saw, so in Japan they have kyaku-inch, like dollar shops, and for that they have just random food, but one of the first kind of weird snacks I bought, it was a pretty much a large hot dog bun with a hot dog, mayonnaise, and corn.
Ooh, that sounds good.
But you're like, corn, hot dog, mayonnaise. It doesn't really like, you know, some people get some looks. Same like pizza. The first pizza I ever bought was at a supermarket. It was a little personal pizza. It had broccoli, onion, carrots, and cheese. That was it. Oh, and a little bit of shrimp. They had shrimp on it too. And you're just like, broccoli and corn doesn't belong on a pizza. But then you try it and you're just like, oh wow, this is kind of new. Like,
You know, another thing that I found very interesting about like the convenience store food here is like, okay, so in the States, you are not supposed to eat
you're gonna get the shit.
food
Yeah.
from 7-Eleven or
Yes,
from any other
yes.
convenience store. But here it's like the food is actually good.
Yeah, this is one thing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, what's your chef's recommendation
Okay, so
here?
I'm gonna get this so you can try it,
Ooh, thanks, man.
and then I'll drink what you don't drink. Oh, Calpis. Okay, Calpis. Oh, that's not the original. Calpis is like, it's kind of like a weird Gatorade, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Oh, that's this stuff.
Kind of. That's Toromitsu Ringo. So this is something honey apple. This is gonna be. This is Calpis. So Calpis is kind of like this, and then let's see if they have it. Oh yeah, down here. So Pocari Sweats.
Okay, so I was looking at that and I was
This
like, is this
is
water?
Gatorade.
Okay, so it's Gatorade.
kind of.
Because I thought it was just like a weird water.
It's an electrolyte drink, but it's the name.
Is it good? Is it like sugary and tasty?
It's not bad, but
Okay.
just the name is. I mean, if it's water or that.
Yeah, I feel like anything where like it says sweat, the name kind of turns
And
you off
it
a
looks
little
like
bit.
sweat. Like it looks like, oh, if I sweat a whole bottle, that's what it would look like. Like that's like it's just cloudy enough, but that's not
Right,
water.
right.
Any of the teas are good. That's always good. Coffees are always fine. See, this is kind of big brain. These
Ooh, you know what I had?
cold and hot. Yeah,
You know what I fucking had last night that was insane? Is there was like a hot chocolate drink
oh yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
You know what? Another thing that's super interesting is I was like in this here in they have hot beverages
Yeah,
in these little things,
Yeah.
and in the States they don't have hot beverages
yeah,
in
it's,
thing.
they have little sections, and so at the bottom, it's kind of like a hot plate.
Yeah.
This is obviously the cold, but they have like a hot plate underneath it that warms the can.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. As far as your whatever you want.
Yeah. I'll drink one of these guys.
Okay.
A Gecko
You
C.
know what? Let's use two different things.
Okay, let's do
Actually,
it.
let's. Okay. I'm totally fine with sharing. So that way, then you can try both.
Sure.
Cool. And if you see any snack you want, I mean, I don't mind walking around. I don't mind sitting down if you want to sit down somewhere.
Anything that you recommend? Actually, you know what?
So, You're good.
Yeah, let's just get drinks. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I have to meet someone in like, yeah, in just a sec. Ooh, arigato gozaimasu. Do you think they'll give us 2 cups?
ありますか？はい、ちょっと今日no, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
good.
Okay.
大丈夫です。ごめんね。
ありがとうございます。
Yeah, they're weird about that sort of stuff sometimes. I didn't think of the word cup. I said kyoiku. Kyoiku is like sharing a business, but it's not. I didn't know the word for sharing. もういいですか? Okay.
All right, so we got.
All right, I'll let you drink first.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Decavita. So this is gonna be kind of citrusy, I guess. I don't know the.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Here. And then-
That shit is really good.
So I'll let you drink both of them, and then after that you can decide which one you want more of.
Ooh, sure. Thanks, man. This is fun. Pocari Sweat. Okay. Yeah, see, the name turned me off a little bit.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
You know, they're both not
Yeah,
bad.
it's not bad.
I think the orange one is pretty good.
Decavita?
Yeah,
There you
sure.
go,
I'll
man.
take this. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, dude. Oh, face reveal. Finally.
Hey.
Here it is. You look so different than I thought you would.
Yeah.
I didn't
Full
even
face
notice.
reveal,
The
yeah.
full face reveal. This man. Oh, dude. Here, let me see what time it is. I know I gotta meet someone at 3:30. I want to see how
shit,
far.
it's gonna be pretty close. Then.
Yeah, let me
Here,
see how
where
far
you-
away. Let me see how far away I'm meeting them at. Give me 1 second. Here, you want to hold it?
Yeah.
Say hi to the folks.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I know it's not my stream, but
No, it is. It's your stream now. Goddamn it. Hi.
where's it at? Oh, Kaiten Sushi? Ginza? Hey, let me see. Oh, Onodera, yeah, that's it. Oh, that's the one they're in Shibuya? So we'll take Asakusa line. It's about 35 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right,
Oh,
let's
so
do
we
it.
need to leave now. Okay.
Yeah, we should probably leave now.
Okay,
Okay,
so
here.
I can take it. Actually, that's on my way back home.
Oh, okay, amazing. Okay, here. I'm gonna end the stream and then we
Okay.
can just walk.
Yeah.
Folks, thank you guys very much for joining me. Dude, big thank you,
No, thank you.
to you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Oh, this was so great. I was walking around aimless. I had no idea what was going on, and you helped me out a lot by coming and sharing your story, so I appreciate it very much,
Thank
man.
you. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people on the computer before we go?
Yeah, thank you for coming, and if I do make content, thank you for everyone who's reaching out, and I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. Even if I don't make content, thank you. Some of you guys said some really nice things, so I appreciate it. So, everyone have a, I don't know, politically, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Don't
Oh, you're
phase
fine.
me, but
You're fine.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Stay safe. Go out and do what you want to do.
Sayonara.
Yeah, sayonara.
Okay, let me see how I